On this episode of Top 10, we're couch surfing across the continent in search of a living room that makes you happy. We know a comfy couch and a fireplace will put a smile on your face, but what are the ingredients that put a living room over the top?
People should buy property in spectacular locations.
Sure, a view is important, but there's still something missing.
Natural light absolutely must make people's endorphins flow.
When a room has a lot of light, it always tends to look much larger.
It's something people don't consider enough because it's not something you can point to directly. You can't say, I like this room because it's blue, or I like this room because it's traditional.
Traditional or contemporary, beige or blue. We may have stumbled on the secret of living room happiness. Top-notch comfort, a super smart layout, and of course, loads of light.
Light is everything. Light is the greatest mood enhancer out there.
Get ready to get happy. Our countdown kicks off in the Hamptons. Joe Nahum created the chic beach house that goes from bikini to black tie with ease.
Joe Nahum really puts the great in great room in this room.
One of the goals was to have a room that not only looked nice, but people would feel very compelled to come in, sit down, hang out, whether they were in a bathing suit or, evening clothes.
What's very special about this room is the juxtaposition of extraordinary polish and some very sort of rough, recycled materials.
Wood floors ain't just wood floors. A reclaimed barnwood floor just creates a feeling of opulence and richness, but in sort of a very honest, straightforward way.
The furniture is a lot of garage sale stuff. There's not a straight line in the furniture. It's very quirky.
That curvy, quirky seating couldn't be more cash. But just because the room is laid back, don't think it doesn't have drama. Look up. Look way up at that ceiling.
There's this incredibly huge gesture of a fireplace right in the middle of the room. You cannot miss it.
It divides the space magnificently.
It's simple, it's easy on the eye to just have one very strong focal point. And the huge pitched ceiling, the exposed rafting and the exposed beams are beautiful again because they bring in this whole element of kind of nature that's working with the furniture and the wood flooring very well.
It feels like a cathedral. There's one incredible wall of windows going right out to the beach with the most breathtaking views that you can imagine.
It's very playful and very unexpected and perfect for a beach house.
Looking for something a little more traditional? Well, we found it in Chicago. Architects Cohen Hacker created this traditional space with a very modern trick of lots of windows and very few walls.
This room is about height and light. It's about how light can be very cozy.
Stuart Cohen is a brilliant architect. He's mixed a number of styles in here, and he's made a majorly dramatic space.
In one sense, it's probably both the most modern and the most traditional of our houses.
Confused? Don't be. Just enjoy how those old-style mullioned windows eliminate that exposed feeling of a modern wall of glass.
There's French doors that wrap the entire room, and then the same gesture is carried through to the upper dormer window with the French window panes, which is traditional but surprising.
That wall of French doors is really trying to speak historically about this period of the late 1700s.
The ceiling, it's church-like, and they let in these shafts of light that are just beautiful.
Is this cross in the large, kind of regal, majestic pitch. For me, there's something kind of very, very spiritual about the space.
Our number 9 living room has modern in its blood, but we thought we'd see how a purebred stacked up. Put on your shades. We're going to Pacific Palisades. Our number 8 living room earned its rank from being modern from the bottom of its foundation to the top of its roof.
You look at this room and you think, wow, there's just soaring volume, and it's like living in a piece of modern art.
This piece of architecture actually really plays off Mies van der Rohe and off early modernism. So the tendency is that the piece of architecture is floating.
It's aerodynamic. It looks like it's going to take off and fly into outer space any second.
This is modern architecture, and the furniture is similarly modern. Each piece is carefully chosen and is sort of assonant with the muscularity of the architecture.
Mid-century classics like the Noguchi table, the Vasily chairs, and the Eileen Gray table feel right at home here.
There's a certain sense of holisticness about the entire project. The way it's situated on site, the way it's landscaped, the piece of architecture itself, the interior, the furnishings, it's all very well done in its entirety.
There's nothing that obstructs the view here.
Clearly, for architect Stephen Canner, windows win over walls every time.
It has a sort of multifunctional quality where you feel connected to the other rooms, yet separate, and yet, once again, open to the outside with the big sliding doors.
Rather than discuss the light in this house, you have to discuss the complete and utter absence of dark.
Our search for the continent's most sublime living room is just getting started. Wait till you see what we found in Palm Springs next.
Buses, trailers, RVs. Think you've seen them all? Think again. Tour luxury motor homes from Superstar Tour Buses
A studio on the bus. What? Who does that? Timberland does that.
to $1 million movie trailers.
This is massive, massive, and you have no idea what it's like from outside until you get in here and actually see it.
Celebrity Motor Homes premieres 1st February, 9:30 p.m. exclusively on LI, Life Inspired.
Hey, I'm Jason Godfrey, wishing you a very prosperous Chinese New Year on LI, Life Inspired.
So far in our countdown of the continent's top 10 living rooms, we've seen a beach house that works night and day in the Hamptons, a sunlit sanctuary in Chicago, and a thoroughly modern lounge in California. But our living rooms just keep getting hotter. We're heading to the desert, where this bohemian bungalow hit the number 7 spot because of its ability to blur indoors and out.
Indoor-outdoor living is something that we on the East Coast long to have, and all those lucky Palm Springsers get to have.
In the desert, you kind of want to feel away from the heat and the lights, so you have a respite by coming into the room.
There's this feeling you immediately get that when you're in a low space, that your relationship with nature is that the minute you go into nature, kind of the world opens up to you.
The living room was created the way it is to really interact with the outdoors, specifically with the courtyard, that it becomes one large room once the doors are slightly open.
That low ceiling is made of white oak, offset by polished concrete floors, both cool choices for this hot climate. But there's nothing restrained about the color choices.
There's some Indonesian ikats and embroideries.
The African-inspired rug, I love the color.
The colors and tones, I think, are really gutsy.
The room feels like a longitudinal space. It's not necessarily that the ceiling is so low, it's just that everything is designed low, like the draperies, they're just these flat panels. The rug is big and covers the space. The furnishings are kind of long and lean.
This has to be a double-page spread.
If our number 7 room is a double-page spread, then our number 6 room is cover material. We're going cross-country to the Hamptons, where we found this sublimely subtle salon.
I feel like F. Scott Fitzgerald came to Wainscott and Russell Groves just encapsulated it in this one room. And it's not that it's such a huge room, but the drama of it is enormous.
Expert expression of subtlety in color and tone.
It's such an amazing combination of luxury, of simplicity, of ease, Of materials?
It is all in the same natural tones of white, linen, quiet, but sort of strong and masculine at the same time.
There's cerused oak, there's limestone, there's leather, there's suede, there's linen, there's mirror, there's the sheer white drapes. They're brilliant.
The style is clean and simple. It's very calm, but has lots of great texture and great finishes.
Don't be so modest. It may look simple, but this room's layout is carefully thought out to maximize the light, the view, and to provide lots of places to just sit and chat.
There's enough seating socially for about 8-9 people, but somehow it doesn't look cluttered, the space. And the reason is it's just put on a very simple grid.
The pieces are very, very specifically chosen. These are beautiful pieces with extraordinary lines. And I think it's the subtlety in a room like this which makes it successful.
The feel of this room is quiet and strong. That sand color scheme is very, very present and strong. I kind of want to just be in this room, curling up, reading a book, and feeling opulent.
Put down that book, Jonathan. We're halfway there. Hold on to your sofa cushions as we sizzle into the top 5 sublime living rooms. So what could possibly top that last number? You'll be blown away with what we found at the beach.
This house is gonna fly away. It has an amazing aerodynamic quality to it.
It looks like it could take off at any moment.
The house is about dynamism.
This cantilevered glass box is all window and no wall, and that earned it the prime 5 spot on our countdown. Architects Barnes Coy designed this piece of modern architecture to have views that go 360.
The analogy is sort of the difference between sailing and flying. When you're sailing on the ocean, that can be rough. When you're flying over it, it's always serene.
The furniture visually floats too by using a palette of sand and sky blue that disappears into the view. And with a 14-foot window perched over the dunes, of course the furniture is positioned to soak up that seaside view.
The room is a glass box cantilevered out and over the dune with a ceiling that slopes up and away toward the horizon.
East Coast, it's a narrow island. On one side they have sunsets, on one side they have the Atlantic Ocean. The architects, Barnes Coy, had to deal with hurricanes. So they had